I'm the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right when I was cool.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter!
Oh, I said, are you ready?
I'm a sexy beast, baby! I was up all night!
And I'm for life.
Welcome everyone to the For Life Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, 5'5" and 3/4 of Fiesta Fury, the one, the only, the silver tongue, the snake hips, the man with the Tom Jones 1977 Knott's Berry Farm hair, and the Sylvester Stallone cop movie beard, of course, Cheyenne Ortiz. I am being joined by
the Boscharaja.
God bless you. I beg your pardon.
The Boscharaja.
The Boscharaja. Am I
Yes.
saying that correctly?
Yes.
The Boscharaja. You know, the one time that I decided to give myself all that praise, just going to come in flat with just one name that sounds like a hummus. The one name. Okay. That's right, folks. It's a For Life Podcast. Cheyenne and Hummus here. We're going to cover quite a bit of ground here.
Okay.
Lots of things to cover. We're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk Smackdown. We're going to talk Insurrextion, the winner of the poll this week for the shows we're going to be covering. We're going to do it kind of a what happened win style, if you will, because I didn't get time to watch the show, so I'm going to do the finishes in live stream in my announcer voice. We're going to cover some dirt in between, and we're going to have some public service announcement for you. Let's get rolling right into. You know what? First of all, I'm being a little rude. Bosch, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. Had some Mexican food on Friday.
Fantastic! With that being said, let's get right
Son of
into
a
it.
bitch.
I beg your pardon.
Huh?
You look good.
Thank you. So do you.
You're welcome. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you could see me. I am small. So, Monday Night Raw had quite an interesting start. Started off with all the Raw divas in the ring, which, of course, kind of gave you a clue to what they were going to do, just not a matter of how they were going to go about doing it. All the Raw divas were in the ring. Bayley, in particular, with a very, sad, sorrowful, somber facial expression going on. And what you do notice is a red carpet, and dead center of the ring is a pedestal.
Yeah.
Cue up the music for your new Raw Women's Champion, the Goddess. Which, what do you think of that for a name?
I think it's a great name.
I loved it. I thought it was cool. And do you know what I thought of?
What?
I thought of the future. If they ever do the Charlotte Alexa Bliss match, they got the marketing right there. The Queen and the Goddess.
Queen, yeah.
I loved it for that, for the future purpose to it. If I was on commentary, I would probably be like total 90s attitude era pronouns, pal, goddamn, like selling the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's just me if I was in Cole's seat. So the Goddess cuts this phenomenal promo about how it's about her and she deserves this coronation and she wants to thank a few people and pretty much goes along the line of insulting all the women with the exception of Nia Jax.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so then, after poking fun at Bayley for defeating her and beating her in front of her family and her hometown crowd or whatever the case may be, this one, by the way, is in Sacramento. A big brawl ensues, and then guess what happens?
What?
We have a tag team match player featuring all the lovely ladies of the WWE Raw brand. I enjoyed this tag team match.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch the Hulu version, or were you being a real fan this week doing the live gimmick? What'd you do? Did you do it?
Hulu.
Did you do it via satellite, Dwayne? How'd you do it? Via Hulu this week. Why is that?
Because it's shorter.
Because were you at Juilliard?
And I don't have cable.
Were you at Juilliard taking your film classes again or something like that?
Yes.
Why couldn't you watch on
Because I don't
Monday
have
like
cable.
the rest of us?
And I hate looking for streams.
Oh, okay. That's all you had to say. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, great back and forth tag match. All the girls got showcased. Bayley had a nice build up to when she got her tag in. It was really, really cool. At the end, they did the spot where, okay, you get shit canned, then I'll come in, then I'll get shit canned, then you'll come in, and then you'll get shit canned. And it was really, really cool. I thought it was going to get lost in translation, to be honest with you, because there were a couple of did you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Moments at the end where it got stuck, and then Alexa Bliss hit that sweet DDT on Bayley, just straight jilled her Saturday morning, 1989 style. What do you think?
I thought it was a good match, and I'm glad that they're keeping Alexa strong, because I know they have a habit of 50-50 booking, or where they would have just beaten her the next night or had Bayley beat her, and just I like that they're actually committing to keeping her strong. I was surprised that she got the victory over Bayley. I thought with Dana being in there that Dana would have been the fall girl, or Emma, or one of the lower card girls.
Okay.
So,
I didn't think. Yeah, I also didn't think that Bayley was going to go down, but I kind of had a feeling that it would be kind of like someone a little higher up.
Yeah.
Than the lower card girls. I actually didn't think that Dana Brooke or Foxy was going down.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like a Mickey or a Nia.
Yeah.
To kind of take this one to build to the next feud or to a three-way or so on and so forth. Yeah, so we get the announcers talking about there's going to be an update on Strowman and Roman Reigns. Then we get Enzo Amore versus Luke Gallows. Was this on your version of the telecast?
No.
Okay. Pretty back and forth. One of the better matches that Enzo's had. I think Enzo gets better in the ring every week, much better than he gets credit for. Unlike the last few weeks, he didn't get his ass beat. He was actually in a match. They went pretty back and forth. Enzo was getting his comeback. And then we see some distractions going on between the two outside parties, that being Cass and, of course, Anderson. Gallows hits the flapjack and pins Enzo for the win. Questions, comments, concerns?
I didn't see it, so.
Okay. We then get a Neville and a Neville and TJ Perkins promo. They kind of go back and forth about...
Their match surprisingly made it onto the Hulu cut.
Which, when you told me that, I was very surprised, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
Perkins and Neville kind of play back and forth with each other, kind of sensing that they're kind of on the same page, but kind of watching over each other's shoulder for each other. So there was that. Rollins comes out to a pop, shouts out Sacramento, says he's feeling good, felt like it was the first time in a long time. Then we get the Seth Rollins, I'm challenging the Beast. I've done it all. I've got everything I want. Out comes Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I felt like this was the first time in a while I've heard Finn Balor actually talk. And kind of make a statement for himself and let everybody know, hey, listen, I was the first Universal Champion.
One of the first times that Seth was pretty over in a while. At least in a promo.
Explain that one.
At least in a promo segment. I feel like he's been over. Like, he was over when he did his run-ins and when he made his return and attacked Hunter and had the crutches.
You think after Mania he's been kind of moot?
I think as far as his promos, I feel like his in-ring stuff has been well received, but I think his promos, I haven't seen a promo really stand out, and I think this was the first time him cutting a promo in the ring got pretty good reaction. In my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. I'm going to back you up on that. I understand why. To kind of counter that, if you really look at it, has he been doing anything? Has anyone on Raw, for that matter, been doing anything special, like stand out, oh my God, since WrestleMania? Not to say that Payback wasn't special and that there wasn't any feuds or anything like that, but what I'm getting at here is, like, has there been anything for most of the Raw guys to sink their teeth into? And that includes him, basically.
Braun Strowman would be the only one that I can think of.
Braun and Roman, right?
Oh, even more so Braun, as far as the impact he's made since Mania with the ambulance stuff and the match with Roman and the Kalisto stuff and him going around backstage kicking everybody's ass. I think Braun has made the most impact on the Raw brand since Mania.
Right, but the question is, has he done anything? Like you were invested in what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to, Rollins was just kind of muddling around, right?
Yeah.
Because the Joe thing was just kind of a in between feud.
Yeah.
And
I think also you had Bray in that in between feud with Orton. You had Jericho going for his rematch, but Kevin Owens was on the other show, so they couldn't really build their match together. And you had Bray just cutting promos on screen, and then you had all the Mania.
It was a lot. It was a lot of build and a lot of.
You had all the Mania part-timers gone.
Exactly, and it was a lot of let's get to Payback.
Yeah.
It was a lot of let's get to Payback before we,
Then I think there was more hype being put on the following show because you had Jinder already becoming number one contender, so that already, whether you'd like.
Oh, I was already invested. Yeah. I was already, not a bad way, but I was already invested in the following show, which is the Backlash, right?
Yeah, so you already have
Backlash. Then
well, because even
Payback.
Whether you like the Jinder angle or not, you're curious and you're paying attention because it's something different. Whether you like it or not, it has your attention because it is so out of left field.
Right.
Kind of like JBL, which where a lot of people are comparing it to. It had people's attention because it was like, wait, this came out of left field. This is something different. What's going on?
Meltzer also compared it to JBL. Actually,
a lot of podcasts have. So I don't know. You already have like number one contenders established for all those titles at the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I agree. I agree. I see your point, but like the counter to that is, and in case anybody wants to kind of say. And make whatever statements. Like look who's viable, and of the people that you may say are viable, look at what they're doing. Because I don't care what anybody says. You might have fucking hated Roman Reigns. But you might have hated Roman Reigns after WrestleMania, but you did want to see him get his ass kicked
by Braun.
And by Braun. So
but it's weird.
Invested.
We're in a weird place right now because the two top guys are all feuding with each other. The champion is gone for the foreseeable future, and then the top three, let's say the other five guys would be Ambrose, Wyatt, Miz, Balor, and Rollins. Those would probably be the next five in line, who could be contenders for the WWE title or the Universal title. But now they're all just kind of by default feuding for the IC title.
Right.
Where you have Rollins and Balor come out and say, well, I'm going to challenge for the Universal title. And I've faced Brock before, and Balor said, well, I never lost that belt. And then it leads to Ambrose coming out and saying, well, Brock's not here, so you guys can fight for me, So
the counter to that is
they came out and made their intention was to get a Universal title shot, and then they kind of end up fighting in the main event for the Intercontinental title shot. So.
Yeah. Well, the counter to that is that not? That's a double-edged sword. Are you demeaning the Universal Championship and its champion, or are you elevating and reinvigorating the Intercontinental Champion and its champion?
In this case, I felt like it was bringing those guys down to the Intercontinental level, as opposed to when Cena had the U.S. title and he brought the belt up. So
instead of establishing one title by diminishing another, you felt like it was demoralizing the competitors?
It felt like they were settling for the Intercontinental title because it was the only belt that's around.
So you saw the segment as, okay.
Because I felt like when Cena had that U.S. title run, he elevated that title.
Right.
And I think when Miz had the IC title on SmackDown throughout most of the year last year, he elevated that belt. But I think the way that segment played out was like, well, Brock's not here, so this is the best you got, so fight for this.
Okay. You kind of like the, what I call the Day of Reckoning situation. So
had they not come out and made their intention, I want to fight Brock and fight for the Universal title, minutes before they settle for number one contender for the IC title.
Right.
So that was my only
okay.
I mean,
that's a fair point.
And then at the end of the day, it ended up being The Miz anyway. So I think had they just gone with The Miz going for the title and then maybe had just Balor and Rollins feud on their own, or have a number one contender match and then Joe and Bray Wyatt break that one up. I don't know.
Well, let's get to the finish.
All right.
Let's get to the ending of Raw when we get there, because you were making some valuable points. We're kind of jumping the gun. Like we both just mentioned, segment breaks out. We're going to see a triple threat match where the winner is going to face Dean Ambrose. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, no Ambrose, commentary, no Ambrose run-in, just all the other things that do occur later on in the evening. We now go to, after reopen the thing. Next up was, I think it was the Kurt Angle segment, right?
Which was
No, it was the thing with the Universal Championship discussion with the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, now it was the 6-man tag match for the 205 Live division. Okay, It was Tony Nese versus Brian Kendrick versus Noam Dar.
Wait, this was a 6-person.
Yeah, 3-on-3, 6-man tag.
Oh, because you're saying versus.
I'm sorry. It was those three taking on Rich Swann, Cesaro, and Gallagher. I can read to you the entire report because I felt like this match was better than Neville and Aries, and I was surprised when you told me that Neville and Aries made the Hulu cut. I'm gonna read this last paragraph.
Okay.
Cesaro tries for a comeback, but Dar drops him and tags Nese back in. Nese with a torture rack, and Nese ends up tagging in Dar, but Cesaro kicks him off. Swann finally gets the hot tag. He unloads on Dar and then Kendrick. Swann with a rolling thunder on Kendrick for the 2 count. Swann drops Dar with a kick to the side of the head. Swann blocks sliced bread number 2 and tags in Gallagher. So he got him up for like that vertical part of sliced bread and went for the blind tag. So that was kind of cool. Nese sends Swann to the floor, but Gallagher headbutts Nese out of nowhere. We'll get to that in a minute. Kendrick takes Gallagher down with the captain's hook, but Tozawa actually breaks it with the Shining Wizard. Swann and Tozawa get hype with Tozawa's battle cry. They do a double suicide dive. Gallagher hits the gentleman's drop kick on Kendrick, and the faces go over. I just felt like this was one of the better 205 Live matches that we've seen in like 2 weeks, and it wasn't Neville and Aries. Okay. It was just, that's just me. Again, if you could see it on YouTube, I do recommend it. They probably got about 10 minutes. We then get the semi-anticipated Sheamus and Cesaro promo. Did you see this?
Yes, I did. I thought it was really...
Take it away.
I thought they had a good segment just explaining their heel turn, and it was nice to see some personality on them, and you can tell Cesaro was really taking advantage of that moment and grabbing the brass ring, so to speak. He
maximized his minutes.
Yeah, to quote the Greek.
So he maximized his minutes. So I certainly enjoyed that, especially that he got more time, I felt, than Sheamus, which I thought was very, very key. Quite frankly.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the ever-loving shit out of that. Which then had the Hardys come out. Hardys came out to a pop. Matt Hardy did the delete gesture but never said it. And then they ran to the ring. Sheamus and Cesaro hightailed it out of there. Miz is backstage with Charlie Caruso Lizardi, and tries to get words about the triple threat match until Dean Ambrose, playing the role of either Mean Gene or Lord Alfred Hayes, comes in and tries to conduct the interview himself. He was Mean Gene, and sends it back to the ring with "Back to you, Gene and Bobby," which I popped for. Huge.
I thought it was. You could see the mic moving in the shot, so you can tell something was going on.
Yes.
But I thought it was pretty funny. And I guess when the Miz turned around, I noticed it was him.
I enjoyed it. Then we got Heath Slater and Apollo Crews. Was this on your version?
No.
This was cool for several reasons. Number one, Heath Slater, baby. He got some airtime, so that's always cool.
Yeah.
So that's always cool. Back and forth match. Apollo Crews hit the huge, powerbomb thing. Rhino was at ringside. So then Titus O'Neil comes out trying to get the picture with Apollo Crews, and Rhino photobombed it.
Okay.
Which
so
was
I guess
pretty...
That's
where that photo that you're seeing comes from.
Oh, I guess you're gonna lead. This is gonna lead to a tag program.
Some are saying that it's not going to lead to a tag program, that at least on the main shows, because I know he's still wrestling on house shows. On television, Titus apparently will be doing strictly managerial stuff as of now.
That's weird.
I don't know if this is going to lead to a physical Apollo Crews Titus O'Neil match, but as of right now,
it's just odd because Apollo looks like a smaller version of Titus.
Well, yeah, not to say that. Yeah. So there was that moment in time where Heath Slater photobombed the thingamajig. We then, I think it's after that, we get the Angle thing. Yeah, so Angle comes out with the You Suck and gives injury updates on both Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Broken ribs, rotator cuff. Both men are taken away. When the decision is made for how they're going to solve the situation, the lights go out, and out comes Bray Wyatt. I thought this was a very interesting segment. Go on, because I'm sure this made the cut.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with Angle being gone for so long, anytime you see him in there with somebody he's never been in there before with, or somebody, pretty much anytime he's in there with anybody, because it's either somebody he's never been in there with or somebody he hasn't been in there with for a decade.
Right.
But I thought it was an interesting segment. It was nice to see Angle interacting with all these new guys, and it kind of, I guess, fans' minds are running as to who Angle would end up working with if he does eventually wrestle.
Would you be interested in seeing a Bray Wyatt matchup between Kurt Angle?
I think that would be a good match.
But would you be interested in seeing it?
If built correctly.
Interesting.
I mean, I didn't think that I would enjoy seeing AJ and Shane, and they pulled off having a good match.
I agree, and I don't think that Angle and Bray Wyatt would be a bad match. But I feel like if the WWE went that part, mm-hmm. I do feel as if they'll be, they as in fans, by the way, no offense to y'all, will be rather critical of it.
I don't know. I mean, if it gets Bray over and it helps Bray, I don't see why not.
Same. I just
I'm
feel
trying
that,
to think of who else on the roster, at least on the Raw brand, would be a good opponent for Angle. Because I like Braun, but I don't want to see him face Angle.
On the Raw brand.
Like, I think him and Miz can be good on the mic, but as far as a match,
I think Miz is a better worker than anybody gets credit for. I just want to put that out there.
I don't think it would be a terrible match, but as far as like his big comeback match, I think had it been maybe like 2 years ago when Rusev was on fire and had a good streak running, I think he would have been ideal. That would have been the ideal comeback feud for him.
Well, of course, and everybody was saying, to take the U.S. title and all that stuff at one point. I think the Rusev match can still be okay.
Well, now Rusev's on Smackdown, and he hasn't really done much in the last year and a half.
Yeah, he's been kind of floundering for various reasons, because remember League of Nations.
Yeah.
He did a couple different singles runs after, the Jinder Mahal thing, the haircut, Lana, injuries, haircuts, all types of stuff.
The last time we saw him, he was squashed by the Big Show.
Yeah, that was just, oh my God, he got fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
After the Bray Wyatt promo, then we got the TJ Perkins, Austin Aries match. Your thoughts?
I thought it was a decent match. I was surprised to see it make the Hulu cut. Maybe there maybe out of all the things to choose from, they went with that. Because there wasn't really like a big angle or anything that set anything up. Because the only other time I've ever seen the Cruiserweight thing, like I mentioned before, was when Aries made his return.
Right.
So I was a little shocked to see that on there. I mean, unless they decided with that over what, Gallows and Enzo? Or the Tyson,
basically.
Or the Apollo stuff?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we get a Ambrose and Finn Balor match. The two highlights being that Ambrose gave Balor a donut and tells him to eat it, that he needs the carb.
Yeah.
And that, the Drifter walks by and Ambrose say, like, do you know any Pearl Jam? So that was pretty cool. Now we get the Golden Truce promo segment with Kurt Angle. Did you know? I knew it. I want to know if you knew before I kind of brought up the argument for it, if you will. Did you know that it was announced that the Golden Truth would take on the tag team champions?
I know at Payback they had a segment with the Hardys backstage where they said they wanted a title shot.
Well, they were, per the WWE app, they were supposed to face
the Hardys.
The Hardys
on Raw.
On Raw, it got announced.
Maybe the tooth getting knocked out.
It got announced. That is a good analysis. But yeah, it got announced, and then it never happened. And then we got this segment where Golden Truth will participate in a tag team turmoil, and the winning team will face the tag team champions. I hope they pull through, because you know me, huge Goldust fan, huge Ron Killings fan. I hope they pull through. And I'm going to throw it to you, Gina, Gorilla and Bobby, for this triple threat match that I thought was just stellar all around.
I thought it was a great match too, and I thought it was a good way to set up 3 feuds coming out of it, because you have the continuation of Joe and Rollins. You have Balor and Wyatt, which should be good, because this would be the first time they're working together, because Finn came in after Bray was already on the main roster.
Right.
And just even like the entrances alone, I know everybody wants to see the entrances with Taker, but at least you're going to get to see it back to back with Bray, which is going to be fun. And I'm sure if they fight at a pay-per-view, he'll do the demon gimmick for that.
Yeah.
So that should be fun. And then you got Miz and Ambrose again, but I'm kind of hoping this leads to Miz winning the IC title.
Yeah, I want Miz to get it back,
because he's done such a good job with it on SmackDown, and I don't think Ambrose really has. So, and I mean, maybe it can lead to Ambrose turning heel. Who knows? But at least we got the continuation of Joe and Rollins, and then 2 new feuds coming out of it, and an Intercontinental title feud, and you still have Roman and Braun, so that's 4. That's already 4 matches that would, at least Extreme Rules would be a strong show with those 4 matches. Plus, you'll probably have the Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus again, which was good. So you got a pretty good program, and then you have all the girls. You'll probably get Alexa and Bayley again, or maybe Alexa and Sasha, or maybe like a tag match with Alexa and Nia against Sasha and Bayley. But so that's pretty good card if you're looking at Extreme Rules from now.
I felt like it was a pretty good card, and the other key thing to all this is that this show, I felt, essentially was what helped. You got to understand why it wasn't done sooner, but this was the show that needed to be done to establish, okay, here's where everybody's going, and as a fan, this is what we want you to be invested in.
Yeah.
That was how I saw it.
Yeah.
That's how I viewed it, because, we had to get the payback, but also establish X amount of people on 2 different shows. So when Wyatt did his run-in, I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. On the shakeup, they I guess you could say tease this, even though I felt like it was blatant. But no, I mean I know they did, but can you say it was a tease because it was pretty blatant? I felt
it was blatant, and then it was kind of dropped, and then I mean it was weird that Balor was just on that Miz TV segment during the pay-per-view kickoff.
Yeah, that was even.
And they didn't even have Ambrose on the show, and it was kind of like they kind of kept Finn Balor just there.
Well, they got to keep him on.
Well, until that Bray Wyatt feud ended with Orton in the House of Horrors.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that to the ending of the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was phenomenal. I don't think it was a bad Raw. I think everybody's being a little too critical, quite frankly. And I also am willing to say that the main event really was so superb. Not to say that there were not other standouts. But the main event was so superb that nobody should really have anything to bitch about.
Yeah.
That's just me. What do you think of Raw?
That was a decent show.
I'm going to give it a 7.5 instead of the 7 that I gave it last week. I'm actually going to give it a 7.5.
All
right. That's my take on that. So yeah.
Well, I have my SmackDown results up here.
Take it away.
All right, so the show opens up. Did you watch SmackDown?
I did not get to this week. I was installing a fire alarm. I know. Mea culpa.
You get at me for watching half of Raw, but you don't even watch any of SmackDown.
I didn't get on you. When did I say that?
Earlier in the show.
I don't remember that.
All right, so the show opened up with it was backstage from earlier in the day. It was Jinder Mahal getting photos taken of himself by a photographer with the WWE title that he absconded.
Absconded, that's right. Love that word.
Which I thought was great.
I love that word.
And they used it a few times on SmackDown too, but then Shane walks in and pretty much tells him he has to give him the belt back, so Shane takes back the belt, which I was...
Okay.
I guess they wanted to keep the belt away from Orton during that House of Horrors match, which I guess to establish that it wasn't a title match, I don't know.
That and so that it wouldn't get messed up with that nice Sears fridge that Sister Abigail bought with her credit card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shane opens the show and brings out the newest member of the SmackDown Live roster, Jericho. So this is the new show of Jericho, Smack It Down,
Smack It Down, man. I did see it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. So AJ interrupted because AJ is the number one contender for the U.S. title. Then they go back and forth. AJ even mentions Y2AJ and Jericho burning the shirt. It's funny now that Jericho's a babyface, and whenever he interacts with all these other babyfaces, they're actually acknowledging all the shit that Jericho did to them during his heel run.
Trying to get off the list at that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, like I enjoyed the stuff with Dean Ambrose a few weeks ago with the jacket, and I guess... Because the way I complained about Balor and Rollins just teaming up out of nowhere and never acknowledging it just because they're baby faces now, I like that. I mean, and maybe Jericho had a big part to play in it, like in that, because I know Jericho probably does have a little more control over his character than other guys do, so he probably made sure.
He's got some input, yeah.
Yeah, so he probably made sure, like, look, we can't not acknowledge it. We can't pretend that he didn't drop me on a bunch of thumbtacks and break my jacket. We have to acknowledge it. So, I mean, I like that attention to detail with Jericho, at least. KO interrupts and pretty much talking down to both guys, and AJ attacks Kevin Owens, and Shane pretty much bans him from ringside.
Okay.
Jinder Mahal faced Sami Zayn, and Jinder won with help of the Singh brothers.
Okay. Not sure how I feel about that, but okay.
Yeah. Ziggler, there was a promo for Nakamura, and Ziggler was backstage watching with a bunch of random, I don't know if they were just enhancement talent or local talent, and pretty much saying he wasn't impressed with the Nakamura video, and Shane puts him in a match with Sin Cara.
Okay.
Ty Dillinger defeated Aiden English in a pretty quick match, and now we're doing the crybaby gimmick with Aiden English. So backstage, Renee goes to interview Jericho, and Aiden English walks by crying, and he puts Aiden English on the list for crying, and he also calls Renee Ronnie.
Right.
Naomi and Charlotte faced Natty and Carmella, which I thought was a pretty good match, and we didn't get to cover it last week, but pretty much what I predicted happened was that the girls would interfere in that match, costing Charlotte the title.
Yeah, you did call that right out of the socket.
Yeah, well, now they're known as Natty, Carmella, and Tamina are now known as the Welcoming Committee.
It's Natty, Tamina, and Carmella, and they're called the Welcoming Committee?
Yes.
In the sense of they're the first ones you have to go through on SmackDown?
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of get behind that.
So they had a good match, and Carmella rolled up Naomi for the win, so Carmella got a victory over the champion. And after the match, there's a big brawl, and earlier in the show, the Welcoming Committee tried to recruit Becky Lynch, and pretty much reminded her of all the times that Charlotte turned her back on her, and how she's always overlooked, and she was the first draft pick and the first SmackDown Women's Champion, but now she's not even in the title picture, so pretty much trying to sell her and joining the group. And Becky comes out, shakes hands with all of them, hugs them all, and then turns on them, and helps.
I was going to say she has to turn on them,
yeah. I mean, you can see that coming from a mile away. Dolph Ziggler versus Sin Cara, pretty quick match. Ziggler wins with the super kick, nothing special.
Okay.
What I thought was a highlight, did you see this, the Fashion Files with Breezango?
No.
I gotta send it to you. It's like a spoof off Law and Order, where they're just in the police station with a bunch, like, just looking at the background where there was like a picture of Freddie Blassie, the original fashion plate. There was the Uggos. There was a picture of Cena where it says whereabouts unknown. Just the background alone was hilarious, and the line of the night. I guess since they're doing the fashion police gimmick, he said the Usos are guilty for jaywalking, and then Tyler Breeze said and Jimmy walking.
That's kind of racist, but very funny.
How's that racist?
Well, I feel like I shouldn't explain that on the show because then somebody's gonna think that I'm racist for knowing.
Because it's their names?
Yeah.
Jay and Jimmy?
Yeah.
How's that racist?
That's racist.
It's not racist. It's their names.
It's racist.
Anyway, I would suggest checking that out. That was one of the funnier segments. I'm glad that they got an opportunity to shine. I thought it was great. Then KO versus Jericho for a rematch for the U.S. title. Pretty good back and forth match. The finish came when Owens gave Jericho a DDT on the floor and then tossed Jericho back in the ring and hit a super kick and pop-up powerbomb, and Owens got the win. And I guess just selling the head injury. And as they were trying to take Jericho out, he kept running back in and attacking Jericho. And then and they did the spot with the head and chair into the ring post.
That I saw, and that looked pretty gruesome.
Yeah, so pretty good Smackdown. I enjoyed the main event. I enjoyed the advancement of the women's feud, and the stuff with Breezango was pretty funny.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty decent Smackdown.
All that enthusiasm you have.
Listen, it's almost too
Yeah. The little. I know it's late. Sorry, I had a little Kenny Rogers, Sheena Easton moment. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to recap this week's poll, which was Insurrextion, and then we're going to cover some things in between when we come back.
Cool.
Hey, For Life listeners, this is The Cap here with Mike the Finance Guy and Ralph the Tech, inviting you to check out our Geektastic podcast, Meanwhile 22 Pages Later.
So if you're a Whovian, a lover of capes and tights, a gamer, or a TV movie watcher, and you want some very honest reviews from some very funny guys,
check out our podcast. It's on iTunes and also on SoundCloud. And if you want to join in the discussion, check out our Facebook page. Oh, and by the way, that 22 is the number.
Now, back to Bosch and Cheyenne.
And we're back. I guess before we cover Insurrextion, we can cover what happened with X-Pac. I know last week he was quote-unquote missing, and then it came out that he was arrested because they found, I guess it was a weed and crystal meth on him. I mean, and he's never denied the weed, but I know...
No, the weed he's been on for a couple of years now.
No, he says he still smokes. He still smokes weed. And I think he lives in Cali, so it's legal over there.
No, that's why I said that he's been back on the weed for some time now.
But he hasn't drank or done other drugs, especially the meth. So I mean, like I was saying before to you while we were off the air, that he is, just from hearing all his interviews and his shoot interviews, he's always been brutally honest. Whether it was about the Chyna stuff or the attempted suicide or his drug problem or drinking problem, he's always been brutally honest. And he said that the pills were for a yeast infection, so I feel like if he's saying that it wasn't that, I believe it just because he's never...
He's a pretty stand-up guy. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
Like, he's fucked up, but he's always owned up to it, and he's never been one to lie or sugarcoat it or bullshit people, so I think if he's saying something is true, I believe it. So I guess they do have the pills out for testing. So, I mean, I'm hoping it comes back and he's right and he doesn't get into any trouble. Or even just for his own safety. But I think what the charge was that he had enough on him, he had so much on him that it was considered the intent to sell. So maybe he's not doing it, but he's selling it for making money on. I don't know.
Yeah, I just figured if he's taking that much overseas, it's got to be to make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah,
has to be it.
In that case,
I know
it's still
I know
wrong,
what he charges.
It's still wrong, but it's not him putting his own health at risk. But I don't know. I'm not condoning him selling it.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
of course not. What else we got?
Let me see. All the fans making a big deal about Roman and Braun taking a picture together in the UK.
Right. Oh boy.
All right.
Okay. What else is there?
Let me see. Adam Cole being a free agent and possibly going to WWE.
Do you think he's going to sign?
I
think he's going to be the person we're going to see in August at Barclays.
I would love for him to sign.
Doing the whole ringside gimmick?
Yeah.
I think he's going to take a couple indie bookings to throw everybody off the scent. And then I
kind
think
of like they did with the Hardys. And like the Hardys are still, I think, are they done fulfilling all their indie bookings? Because I know they did House of Hardcore.
That I know of. They only had one more left, and they did the big speech.
Yeah.
Because it was House of Hardcore. The first one, they showed up to it with the tag titles. And I think they did another one where they got out of losing, of course, because when you go back to WWE, you can't lose. And that's not sarcasm. That's how it is. That's a good one.
Blame them? I mean, if you're WWE, are you going to want your guys to put over an indie team? Or?
Oh, well, when you put it like that, yeah, of course. But, what else is there on the newswire?
Well, I guess back to Adam Cole, like, I wouldn't mind if he does just keep himself a free agent until then and continue all his bookings. And I guess if he were to, kind of like they did with Drew McIntyre, where I didn't know that he had signed with the company until he showed up at TakeOver.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind them doing something like that with Cole, because I just feel like nowadays everybody knows when people are signed, and
they know everybody.
It's not a surprise anymore. So I thought it was cool to get that surprise with McIntyre. Even when they did it with Rude last year, nobody really knew, and then he was just in the audience, which I thought was great.
Yeah, he just kind of poofed, and then what did they do with him after again?
They kind of kept him away for a bit, and then they brought him back because he was at ringside for Mania TakeOver, but he didn't have his in-ring debut until SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah, it was really.
But he was doing a lot of the NXT house shows.
Yeah, but the presentation of that was also very strange.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, is there anything you want to discuss?
News-wise, wrestling news-wise. I think that's about everything from the important topics side in terms of the dirt and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I might make a few statements at the end of the show, but dirt-wise, it's been a pretty slow week. I mean, I just felt like the other more newsworthy stories or, stories about, females being scantily clad weren't, really worth talking about on the show.
Yeah. So, like, we already went through that a couple months ago, and at this point, it's like, well...
Well, you know.
Yeah, now.
All right, Insurrextion.
Yeah.
Was the winner of this week's poll.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of happy at one because I've never seen this show before.
This one I've never seen.
So, and it's funny because that video I posted on our YouTube of me at WWF New York in 2000, it's the one, like in the whole video rack, it's the one that I go to that catches my attention, and I grab it and I start reading the matches in the back, and I'm like, oh shit, Shane McMahon in a title match.
Okay.
But just my voice wasn't as deep as it is now because I was 13.
Yeah, you didn't have your 900 phone number voice yet.
Yeah, so it's nice to finally see this show 17 years later.
Okay. So
this was one of their UK shows. At that time, they were doing, like 2 UK shows a year?
At that time, it was 2 a year.
It was what, Insurrextion, Rebellion?
Exactly, Insurrextion, Rebellion.
I don't even think I've ever seen... I think I might have seen One Night... Oh, was it One Night Only?
One Night Only was in 1997, which is actually one of my favorite pay-per-views.
I at least saw the main event, but...
And then there were many more in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly the name of it, and it used to be on YouTube, but it isn't anymore. And if somebody can find it, please send it to me. Via the Twitter, the Facebook, or the email. But there was one with Hogan and Savage. They were the main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way it was shot from a production standpoint, Bosch, and you would dig this, it was shot actually like a movie.
Okay. That's
not
cool.
that...
Like House of Horrors?
Not that it was... Not like House of Horrors, not like...
Oh, speaking of movies, we didn't talk about the Vince movie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Not like No Holds Barred, but in the same of the type of cameras they use.
Okay.
And the cuts as well. So imagine an actual WWE show shot like the match from No Holds Barred.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's Hogan and Savage in the main. I know Lord Alfred Hayes is on color commentary. I don't know if it's Shivani with him or Gorilla.
Okay.
But they were doing, the exclusive shows for Sky box office on a regular basis, but this was going to be an annual one, and I think this went about 4 or 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Insurrextion, because I think that lasted a little bit longer than Rebellion. Also, they did Mayhem in Manchester, which isn't on the network.
Okay.
Of course, the Battle Royal at Albert Hall. There's that. There's quite a few from England that are missing.
All right.
So
I mean, I guess back at that time, since the UK wasn't getting that many shows, I guess it would be a big deal when they would do shows in the UK.
Yeah, of course.
And then you can also throw on main events that wouldn't necessarily headline a pay-per-view, but are bigger than headlining a Raw, kind of like this one where it was main event.
Exactly. And another thing that WWE was big for doing back then, and you kind of hit it on the head earlier, because this was a UK exclusive event, right? For the first two, I remember specifically, they would build to it, we're going to have our UK pay-per-view Insurrextion, or we're going to have Rebellion. They would kind of build to that the week or two of, so that it was in your head for when the VHS came out.
Yeah.
This is only available.
Which I noticed during the show, during the build-up to the main event.
Yeah. This is only available in the UK. I got to get it when it comes out on tape. I got to rent it.
Had I had the money, I would have purchased it at that time, but I was 13 at the time. But I out of like that entire VHS rack at WWF New York, which you would remember, that was the one that I wanted.
Towards the back next to the cash.
Because it was like, okay, yeah, I've seen all these other ones, these documentary ones, but I want to see this one because I'd never seen it and it's not available to me.
Yeah.
And it has a main event that caught my attention.
That was why I bought One Night Only. I got,
well, I don't remember them. Did they show results from this show on TV? Because I know for One Night Only, obviously there was a big title change and a big angle.
They always acknowledged, be it with a video package, slideshow, or with actual match results to lead into an angle back on the States. They always acknowledge the UK pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Because they had to get that North American buy, and they could only do it through VHS.
Yeah.
So they always acknowledged it.
Okay. So the show, I mean, the crowd was hot. I guess you see those crowds now, and I'm assuming since they're all over there, that Raw and Smackdown will be from the UK this week.
I think this tour was to lead into the UK week.
Okay, yeah, so then it works out kind of timely that they're out there this time of year.
Yeah.
So the show opens up with Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexy, and Scotty Too Hotty. I love that JR emphasizes sexy.
Yeah, that was always his thing.
Yeah. So they were pretty over, kind of reminiscent of Enzo and Cass today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was hot. I mean, and Enzo and Cass are usually the ones to open the show. So they faced the Radicals, Saturn, and Malenko. And they were teasing a lot of dissension between the Radicals, and Too Cool won the match, and then Malenko and Saturn got into a fight after the match.
I just saw that.
Yeah, Kane with Paul Bearer defeated Bull Buchanan. They shot an angle where Boss Man and Bull broke Kane's hand on Raw.
That's right.
So I'm guessing this was leading to Kane and Boss Man feud, but they threw Bull Buchanan into this match.
Right.
For the time being. The Road Dogg with Tori, I forgot about her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she looked great. He faced Bradshaw of the APA. I thought it was actually a pretty good match. So far, the strongest of the first three, and Road Dogg went over. Farouk was out there with him, but he got ejected from ringside, and Bradshaw went for the clothesline from hell, and Road Dogg hit him with a low blow, and he hit his pump handle slam and defeated him.
Okay.
Then we had the Cat with Mae Young versus Terry Runnels with the Fabulous Moolah in an arm wrestling match, with Jerry Lawler as the official. And pretty much anytime a heel is in an arm wrestling match, they always stall and come up with excuses to not start the match. So like, oh, she's too oily. Oh, I have to stretch.
Wait, hold on 1 second. The finish of Bradshaw and Road Dogg is the pump handle slam. Got that. I don't see anything with. Oh, it's not a match. It's a segment. The Cat and Mae Young.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on the timeline.
Yeah,
okay,
so
Showkishi,
I mean, Showkishi and Rikishi faced the Dudley Boys,
right?
And they won with the help of Edge and Christian. And then after the match, Too Cool came out and put the glasses on Bubba, and then all 6 of them did the dance.
Yeah.
Angle defeated Benoit. It was a pretty short match, but I thought it was a good match.
Well, I knew it was going to be a Benoit match because it was Kurt Angle in singles action, so that told me.
Yes. So at least like the 4 main matches were pretty big as far as names.
Well, this was the wrestling match, you know.
But it was pretty short, and there, Benoit was selling his eye injury from Smackdown, where Jericho defeated him for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so his eye was like swollen shut, so they used that where Benoit went for the diving headbutt, and Angle moved out the way, and
Yeah, I just got a shot of Benoit's eye. It is bad.
yeah, and Angle used that to his advantage and won the match.
Yeah.
And Crash Holly was on commentary during this match and said he wanted to fight an English wrestler, but he couldn't find anybody. So then after the match, Bulldog makes his return. I know we got confused. I think you got confused where you said that this was the angle where Bulldog threw the trash can and hit Stephanie, but I'm guessing that's the next European show, because this one,
Okay.
he makes his return and defeats Crash
Wait,
Holly.
what year is this?
This is 2000.
Can't be, because that happened in 99.
Oh, okay, so then maybe he was gone for a while and came back?
Unless it was Rebellion.
Then that might have
Maybe
been.
Rebellion was first, because that I can tell you for a fact, because I actually saw that on tape. The main on that show is Rock, Triple H, and the Cage.
Okay, so then I'm sorry, I got confused.
No, it's all right.
So, but they were saying that this was Bulldog's return, so I'm guessing maybe Bulldog was just gone for like 6 months or a couple months.
I remember Bulldog being back in 99, especially because of the Unforgiven match. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So yeah, this had to be his return.
Okay, so then is there a reason he wasn't using his traditional music?
No idea. No idea why they decided to give him a.
Because I feel like that music was so recognizable with him, where this music started playing, and I had no idea who it was until he was out there.
Well, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go back to the beginning real quick and see if the pop, what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what happens is that because he's not playing his regular music, the Titantron is what makes the crowd
pop.
Realize.
Yeah.
That, oh wow, yeah, big difference.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have played his music,
yeah,
it would, oh my God, he might have gotten the pop of the night. The Bulldog is fucking royalty over there.
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Even if he was using that song when he came back in '99, why wouldn't they at least take advantage of the fact that he's in the UK?
Yes, because by the time
if they wanted that babyface pop,
what year is the Kennel from Hell match? 99 and 2000.
I'm guessing that would have been 99.
Then he's already using that theme.
Okay.
He's already using that theme because I remember when he won, and this was before the major thing, if I'm not mistaken. I remember when Bulldog came back and with the whole Rocky Balboa outfit and gave the hardcore title to Al Snow with that song playing.
Okay.
And it was the early one, so I had that bark at the beginning on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
SmackDown 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Looks like Edge and Christian and the Hardys are what I'm watching.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. The Edge and Christian end up getting themselves disqualified so that they keep the belts. And then the Dudleys come out and do the table spot.
That's what I'm up to now. The Dudleys already out.
Yeah, to kind of pay back for what happened earlier in the show. And then next was Eddie Guerrero with Chyna versus Chris Jericho. Eddie was coming in as the European champion. Jericho was the IC champion as he just won it on SmackDown. And they had a coin toss to see who would defend their belt. And Eddie had to defend his belt. Chyna actually cut a pretty good promo before the match, Chyna and Eddie.
Okay.
Where he was putting down the audience and the European crowd, and then Chyna cut a promo in Spanish because they weren't even worthy of an English promo.
Huh.
So I thought that
was Spanish?
It was pretty good. She majored in Spanish in college.
I didn't know that.
She has a degree in Spanish.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she cut a good Spanish promo. So and then
I never knew that.
Yeah. And pretty much they were double teaming Jericho a lot throughout the match, and Chyna hit Jericho with a DDT, and Eddie hit him with the belt for the victory. So I thought that might have been my favorite match of the night, just because I'm a fan of Jericho and Eddie, and the promos were pretty good. So that was a fun match.
Yeah.
And then the main event was set up the week before at Backlash, which didn't win last week's poll, but Shane was the referee for Rock and Hunter, and then on Raw, The Rock defended his title against Shane in a cage match.
Cage match.
Yeah, and then Vince set up the triple threat. And earlier in the show, he cut a promo saying that he was a member of the McMahon family would walk out with a championship. So there was a confusion where Hunter wasn't sure if it was about him or Shane, and it's weird seeing Stephanie this young or not having her.
Oh, without question.
Even her
when
voice.
She comes out with the blue dress, I was like, oh, wow.
Or even the voice sounds really like, oh, I'm so sweet and innocent, where now it's like, you're fine, where she's kind of like Vince, the female Vince now. And
the voice never came across to me like that. It just came across as like, you know, Steph's in her early 20s this time. I'm just a kid, but it just came off as like someone developing their voice.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. That's the way I saw her voice.
But I thought this was a fun match where they did a lot of double teaming and then the usual dissension between the baby faces, and
right.
And you knew Shane would take the fall, but I like that there was a point where they teased Shane could win the match and was in control. But I thought it was a fun match.
And then here I am now. Shane is already doing that rope-a-dope a la Saki Johnson.
Are you watching this like on 5x speed or some shit?
Oh, remember I told you I was watching the finishes.
Yeah.
To have an idea. So now I'm watching the entrances before I get to the finish. But I'm just watching Shane do the whole, you know, rope-a-dope and the Rocky Johnson soul shuffle to, you know, redeem myself of that horrible verbal botch I just did. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of cool seeing the prototype of it, you know. Oh my God, this is 2000, so wow. I'm not even going to say how old this is.
17 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
So Shane would have been like my age at this time.
Yep, pretty much.
He would have been 30.
Yeah.
And Rock would have been, what, late 20s also?
Rock would have been late 20s. Triple H would have been late 20s. Stephanie probably would have been 22, tops, 23.
Yeah.
Earl Hebner, 107.
I thought Vince and Earl were the highlight of the match.
I didn't get to see that spot because of the whole thing I was doing.
Yeah, I would say check out like the last five minutes of the match when maybe even if you do it after the show.
This was revelating for me because Stephanie in the blue dress.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but they made an action figure of that outfit, and I've never known where that outfit was from until now.
Mm-hmm. But I guess Earl got fired. I'm guessing that would have been the Jericho title win.
Okay.
Remember, because I think Earl got fired with that, and then Linda brought him back.
Yes.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Earl got brought back at Backlash.
Yeah, by Linda.
Yeah, that was tough. He didn't want to lose.
Well, I guess since you didn't see the whole show, I'm trying to figure out what matches would have gotten over today. I think the last 3 matches would have definitely gotten over. The Hardys and Edge and Christian, Eddie and Jericho, and the Triple Threat.
Yeah.
I think the Too Cool Act would have gotten over.
That would have done tremendous.
Kind of like Enzo and Cass, I think Too Cool would have been over. I think the Kane, Bull Buchanan, and Road Dogg Bradshaw matches wouldn't have gotten over. Maybe Road Dogg and Bradshaw. Road Dogg and Bradshaw had a pretty decent match, considering that they're not like Angle and Benoit, but they had a pretty decent match.
Which match are you referring to?
Road Dogg and Bradshaw.
Can we?
I thought it was an okay match for them. Because they're not really known for being the best workers.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I think the Cat and Terry segment would have been shit on just because they're not good workers. I think Showkishi would have been shit.
You want to know why I think that segment would have been received well?
The arm wrestling?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the nudity.
Yeah.
I think the outfit is what would have sold that segment.
Then again, it's PG, so they wouldn't have had those outfits.
That's another reason why if they would have done that now, because the question is today's I think
landscape. Kind of like Eva Marie, where Eva Marie gets booed, but Eva Marie's not wearing these outfits. I think if Eva Marie was wearing these outfits or like the stuff she wears on Total Divas or on social media, she wouldn't be getting booed. But when she's not really wearing, like, she dresses sexy, but it's not like super revealing like the Cat and Terry were.
Oh no, the ring gear, the ring gear has not been like on that level of a Cat or a Terry in like 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. Because even now the girls wear they even wear stockings, like they don't even have their legs out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think
little skanketeers.
That segment would have been received well today.
Yeah.
I think Bulldog would have gotten a big pop, just the legend pop.
Yeah, agreed. If the proper song would have been played.
Yeah.
I think, and then now because we're in the UK, I was actually hoping to see if you noticed this observation. There is one thing that you're missing. If this would have happened in today's landscape,
it would have been in the UK.
They would have been singing or doing the wave.
I think depending on the match. I think maybe during the Showkishi, Rikishi, and the Dudley Boys match.
Okay.
Because I think they would have shit on that on show doing the Showkishi angle or the gimmick.
No, I think they would have been into it. It's better than dressing him up as a giant baby.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Well, I think. I mean, yeah, because the Mizdow segment got over. The Mizdow gimmick.
But yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then he was doing that for a while. He dressed up as Hogan. He dressed up as Rock. He dressed up as this character, as that character. So by this point, in theory, it's May, right? Yeah, in May, the show entertainer thing is already
that's what
alive.
I'm saying, because he was just in the main event at Mania challenging for the belt at Mania a month and a half ago.
Yeah, that's just a total testament.
But it seems
total testament.
There's definitely a push being put on Angle, Benoit, Guerrero, and Jericho. Those are like the 4 up-and-coming guys.
Yeah, Eddie still hasn't gotten his full pair of sneakers yet on that.
But Eddie's showing his charisma with the Chyna Mamacita stuff.
Oh, without question. And he knew a lot of the Radicals were not going to be able to slow down and work a WWF-style pace.
Uh-huh.
So instead, I think he chose to go other ways.
Well, if you look at the 4 Radicals, he definitely took the entertainment route, and he was a great worker. And Benoit got over with the work.
Well, exactly. Mm-hmm. He took the smartest route. Okay, I might be a better worker than Chris. I might be a better worker than Dean, than Perry. But he was the most entertaining out of those 4.
Yeah.
Benoit was the best wrestler.
Out of the 4, and even Malenko was probably my favorite technically out of those guys.
Many people have said that Malenko should have been shot to the moon and back, which I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't know what about Malenko, but I know with Perry Saturn, he was pretty, inebriated for some of those tapings.
Yeah. But I mean, out of those, I mean, I don't count Saturn in with that group. He just came over with them. But as far as like Malenko, Benoit, and Eddie, they traveled a lot together from Japan to ECW to WCW to WWE, and Malenko was always my favorite of the 3, at least in WCW. Because Eddie hadn't really shown the personality yet.
You like them more than Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker?
Slightly.
Okay, that's a little better.
Sergeant Craig Pittman. All these army gimmicks they had in the WCW, loved those.
What are on next week's polls before I go on my PSAs and my plugs?
I'm so lucky. I was like, shit, I forgot to look these up, so I looked these up during the beginning of the episode. Okay, for WWE, we have In Your House 1, the first In Your House from May of 1995, May 14th.
And I'm guessing it's called Rage? Is that what I'm reading?
I think it was just called In Your House 1, the first one. Well, the one where they give away a house.
Yeah, I believe it's the first one.
Okay. We have another In Your House, which is Cold Day in Hell, where Austin challenges Undertaker for the WWE title.
Uh-huh.
And Ahmed Johnson has not just 1, not 2, but 3 matches against every member of the nation. And if he wins the gauntlet, then the nation disbands.
That's right.
So we would be blessed with 3 Ahmed matches if this.
That's right. Not all 3 faces, but all 3 matches.
Mm-hmm. And this should be on Kayfabe Cover Kingdom's Best of Ahmed Johnson DVD compilation.
I agree.
For WCW, we have Slamboree 1999. Let me look that up really quickly. Unless you can remember off the top of your head.
Slamboree 99? Is that the one with he who has the belt has the power with the big belt and the double biceps?
Let's see.
No, 99. That might still be the Flair administration. Who's 99?
The main event is Nash and DDP.
Okay.
Singles match for the WCW title. This is an 18-minute match. Nash and DDP.
Wow.
Sting and Goldberg. Piper and Flair.
No, the boxing one is Bagwell and Piper. Never mind.
It says with Arn Anderson and the head nurse.
Okay.
Steiner versus Bagwell for the U.S. title.
All right.
Gorgeous George with Medusa, Miss Madness, and Savage versus Charles Robinson with the head nurse and Ric Flair.
Okay.
Rick Steiner versus Booker T. Bam Bam versus Brian Knobbs.
Yeah, but it's 90s Bam Bam.
Conan versus Stevie Ray with Vincent and Horace Hogan.
Oh, boy.
Raven and Saturn versus Mysterio and Kidman versus Malenko and Benoit. That should be a good match. 17 minutes.
Say it again?
Raven and Saturn versus Mysterio and Kidman versus Malenko and Benoit for the tag titles.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. That's the opening match. Yeah.
Okay.
And for ECW, we have Hardcore Heaven 99.
Okay.
Which is, let me see, from the Mid-Hudson Civic Center.
Okay.
Taz versus Bubba Ray, spelled B-U-H-B-U-H. Sid versus Justin Credible. RVD versus Jerry Lynn for the television title, 27-minute match. Lance Storm versus Tommy Dreamer. Tajiri versus Little Guido. Super Crazy versus Taka Michinoku.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
And Dudley Boys versus Balls Mahoney and Spike Dudley. And the opening match is a singles match for the title, Chris Candido versus Taz. So Taz has 2 matches on here, and so does Bubba Ray.
That probably wasn't, if Taz didn't squash him, that probably could have been a great match.
It's 1 minute and 10 seconds.
All right.
When you said squash, I was like, yeah, it's a minute opener.
Yeah.
So In Your House 1, Cold Day in Hell, Slamboree 99, or Hardcore Heaven 99. That poll will be up with this week's episode on Twitter and on the Facebook group.
That's right. Hope everybody responds and votes.
We got a pretty decent response on both social medias.
Okay.
Because it was Twitter that actually won this show.
Yes.
So I try to follow both and just add up the totals.
Yeah.
So if you want to vote twice, you can.
That's true. You could vote for one of each, or if you have like that one and that other one, oh man, so close. Go ahead. Well, yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm already following along with 97, so I'm going to see Cold Day in Hell anyway, so I don't mind getting that, so it's one less show I have to watch, but then I also wouldn't mind getting one of the other ones, so I have something different to watch.
Okay.
So yeah. Out of those 4, which one would you rather watch?
Oh, man. I think Slamboree.
I think so, too, so.
Just to kind of go back to that era of WCW.
And we haven't had a WCW one yet.
Haven't had a WCW one yet, and it's 99 WCW. It's Vince Russo's WCW.
No, not Russo yet.
Excuse me. No, that's right. It's 99. So it's still.
Russo comes in October.
Oh, that's right. This is the beginning of the Harvey Schiller area. Doctor. Or as Mean Gene says, Dr. Harvey Schiller. Like that. So yeah, I'm looking.
Hey, I remember at that time Harvey Schiller.
What's the main again?
DDP and Nash.
And then, okay. I have an idea what show it is. Go on.
All right, that's it. your PSA.
Oh, yeah, my public service announcement.
Take it away.
There was something else I had to address, too, but I'll go with my public service announcement. Well, even though it is late in the morning, Monday here, in the For Life Podcast headquarters, on Sunday, and yes, I know I'm a little late, Sunday it was World Laughter Day. And that means the world to me. Why? Because why are you sighing?
Oh, I'm just breathing.
Why are you sighing? I'm in the middle of something here, sir. Thank you. It was World Laughter Day. And that means the world to me because, as Bosch will tell you, I love making people laugh.
I've heard this promo 5 times already.
Okay, well, maybe they've not heard it. This means something to me, okay? The same way that your L'Oreal sponsorship means something to you, this means something to me, okay? Anyway. The key component is that I just want everybody to know that take the time every day to make yourself laugh and take the time every day to make somebody else laugh. Laughter is the true connection between humans recognizing their humanism to one another. So take that time every single day. Make somebody laugh. Tell a corny joke. Trip your friends. Just make somebody laugh. That's the short version.
I think today's episode art will make people laugh.
I think today's episode art will make people laugh. And I think the name of this episode should be "This Will Make You Laugh."
All right.
But why not? Yeah. So overall, that's just about it. I felt like I had something else. Oh, can I just talk about something real quick? Because this meme has totally fucked me up.
Right.
Have you seen the Denzel meme about? Now that I think about it, Snapchat has me thinking that you chicks look better as farm animals.
I just happened to see that before we went on the air, so I guess a mutual friend of ours posted it.
Yes, Isn't that kind of true though?
I mean, depends on which farm animal. This week they added the horse filter.
Okay.
I think that was at the request of Jamal Jackson.
What's the one with the pink nose and the ears? Is that supposed to be a bunny?
A pig?
Oh, is that supposed to be a pig? Okay, sure. Whatever. Anyway, all you chicks out there, okay, if you're looking for a hot Sunday night, if you want to lay down with me in my handmade giraffe skin sheets and stare up and gaze into my ceiling mirror.
Where is this going?
Send me pictures of you dressed as a pig bunny, okay? All right? I'm just putting that out there. Because some of you chicks look better as platypuses than as real women.
I thought you wanted a snow bunny.
I do want a snow bunny. If there's any... Cuckoo! Hop along the trail, boing. If there's any snow bunnies out there listening, jump on it. Snow bunnies snow bunnies, and without giving it away, I'd love to sit and talk with you by the fire in my handmade giraffe skin sheet over some cheese and crackers.
I know a former diva that's in your area. Anyway.
Oh. Did her nudes leak like half the roster? Okay.
I think hers were voluntary.
Okay. Do you want to guess who's next? Is that how we're going to end the show now?
Are we doing the Goldberg?
Yeah. Who's next to get leaked?
Lana.
I'm gonna swerve you because this kind of went on Facebook. I think it's gonna be Vicky Guerrero next. I think that's who's next.
I see her like a mom. Like
she's kind of an attractive woman for an older lady.
I don't know. No, I'm not saying she's not attractive. I'm just saying like.
I think you're insulting her.
I'm not insulting. I would never.
I think you're insulting her.
I would
Big
never.
Is beautiful.
That's not even what I'm complaining about.
What is it then?
I said she just has that motherly appeal to her.
You're saying that she's collecting SSI.
I did not say that.
You're saying that she gets a subsidiary income financed by our taxes.
I did not.
I'm not sure. Minorities don't insult other minorities, Bosch. They do it on social media.
Who am I? I'm not insulting her.
I think you are.
I think I'm not.
Your derogatory remarks are asinine.
Listen, I don't know why Aiden English is crying if he's...
Marco!
Mero.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at here. Do you have any plugs for this week?
Any plugs? Obviously, Kayfabe Cover Kingdom.
Of course, my main man, my Bay Area bestie.
Yeah, I posted up his ad on our Instagram.
I saw that.
And if you scroll, you can see all the designs he made for us. Or me and the podcast. Cheyenne hasn't requested any yet. But I'm sure he would do it.
No, I did request a logo.
Oh.
I did request a logo. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I haven't gotten mine yet.
Okay.
But I know that Kayfabe made logos for you. Besides the For Life ones, he's made some for you. And he just made the new Vince Steel logo.
Oh, sick. I can't wait to see it.
No, it's already out. It's on Vince Steele's page. It should be on Kayfabe's page. It's the Jurassic Juggernaut logo. Plus, I know he made
the Ahmed DVD cover that I will.
He made the Ahmed DVD cover. He made a shitload of
my legit Bosch and Bosch Cave logos.
Bosch Cave this week. He made a shitload of DVD covers for people this week.
Yeah, he made a lot of NWA ones. I saw that WWA one. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. The Australian one, that was awesome. But
did you see those
he's supposed
shows?
to make me. I never saw those. I always wanted to.
I saw their
because they were $20 pay-per-views, but never did.
I saw their second show, so not the one that he made the cover for, but the following one, which I commented.
Is that the one where Sting became the champion? It was a big deal that Sting got to them first.
No, it was the main event was Jarrett versus Brian Christopher for the title.
Oh, that actually at that year would have been a good match.
Because
if Brian Christopher wasn't high.
Because Space Cowboy Randy Savage couldn't make it.
Space Cowboy.
Hold on, that's what Bret Hart called him. I swear to God, he called him that.
At that time?
Yes.
Because I remember them doing the Space Cowboys promo.
I'm gonna look into it, but
Okay.
But also, I know Eddie Guerrero came out after the Cruiserweight match in that, but then right after that, he ended up returning to WWE.
Oh, wow.
And I think that would have been the first time I saw guys like AJ Styles, Low Key, a few. This was like TNA right before TNA, pretty much.
Which quite a few promotions were.
Yeah, I know.
At that
I
time.
remember Chronic was on that show. Scott Steiner was there. I had it on the VHS, so maybe once everything is done here and I looked it on my VHS, maybe it's on one of those tapes.
Oh, even though I'm putting it on the show, I don't care. Do you still have your copy of the 7 Levels of Hate?
I should still have it on my hard drive.
Okay, I need that for John Harder.
Okay.
For my buddy. And speaking of John Harder, the Hardway HQ, the Professional 3, John Harder, if you love the old school WWF magazine style type of writing, go to the Professional 3 for all his articles and blogs. That, of course, is John Harder. I want to send a personal get well soon to my darling, the queen of my vacation, Vanessa. Hope she gets well soon. She had her tonsils removed, so she cannot talk. So, Vanessa, I know that you're home recovering and you're on meds and all that good stuff. So, from the bottom of my heart, I hope somewhere in the middle of the night you step on a Lego and then trip over a hairbrush. And I say that because you can't respond. So that's why I think of you. Okay, Jim Henson? All right. Oh, she's playing Pictionary every day. What do you want me to do? Halftime of the Super Bowl for her, Shadow Puppet. Yeah. It's a fit. She can't talk. That's what I'm getting at here, Bosch.
All right.
This is good stuff that I'm throwing out here.
I bet it is.
I think it is. You insulted Vicky Guerrero.
I did not. Why am I bugging? I'm looking up the results. He says that Macho Man would not be appearing, but I remember him calling him Space Cowboy Randy Savage. But it's not saying it here on Wikipedia. It just says Bret Hart appeared after the opening match as the WWE commissioner. He announced to the live crowd that Randy Savage was not at the show and was being replaced in the main event by Brian Christopher.
Yeah, that's pulling out all the stops. And speaking of pulling out all the stops, if somebody want to contact us on social media, how would they go about doing it?
At 4Life Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
And hypothetically speaking, if someone wanted to pick up on those nifty 4Life Podcast t-shirts, how would they go about it?
Redbubble.com/people/4Life Podcast.
And in theory, when taking a shot of tequila, do you lick and then suck, or do you suck and then lick?
Depends on how she likes it.
I agree. That's what I'm getting at. And also, I want to shout out 22 pages later, since you forgot to do it. I'm going to take your plug. 22 pages later, the Cap and all those people out there. I want to shout out Gigi. Can we shout out Jay for his birthday?
In October?
Oh, that wasn't for his birthday?
That was for Cinco de Mayo.
That was just a regular Mexican folk event?
Yeah. Remember?
I thought it was Jay's birthday.
No, remember me? No, remember?
That's what I said. We went to the thing, to the nice thing.
Yeah, you were there. Jay,
I was there. That's why I was.
You were there for
so
all three
confused.
of our birthdays. Jay, Abby, and I have the same birthday in the same week.
That was like rare for me to go to all three.
You were the only one that made it to all three.
Hey, you didn't have mustard thrown at you, okay, pal?
We've never done an episode around our birthdays because we always disappear around SummerSlam and come back for like fucking. We'll disappear.
August into the fall is pretty fucked up for us. Okay.
Yeah, we always disappear. Like I think the longest, we made it to SummerSlam that one year that we both went because we were covering our time there, and then last year we were gone the whole fucking year from January to November. But we always disappear and come back in November, so we're never around for our birthdays. So maybe this year we can keep it going strong and be here for our birthdays and celebrate our birthdays on the podcast because they're about 2 weeks apart.
I'll celebrate it on the podcast, considering the fact that I don't like to celebrate my birthday in general. So, not anymore. And Gigi, if you're listening, which you're probably not, so I can say this openly and freely, my birthday's in September, and that's all you get out of me. So yeah, that's about it.
All right.
That's all I got. I think it's time for my gross line that you hate. I just put my hand up my ass. I got nothing left up there, so you know what that means.
Well, you didn't check last week.
I didn't put my. I didn't. Oh man, I want to put 2 hands up my ass now. And there goes that up and out from earlier.
It's funny because
nothing else.
I envision your face as it is in this picture on your Skype, which is the selfie that you didn't notice.
I have a Skype.
I mean, your contact on my Skype account.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean the Shellsworth photo?
No, this is the. I took a selfie without realizing.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Oh, that one. You could just say the cunt photo. Anyway.
Okay, the cunt photo.
The cunt photo to avoid any defamation of character lawsuits that I may endure. Inside, going to business for ourselves. Do you know when I put that picture up?
The one
she
from
didn't
this
see
weekend?
She didn't see it. And then the next day, the bitch saw my stuff.
Did she see your laughing promo?
No, that just went up. I don't know if she's gonna see that. That's of course we're talking about Nikki, the whore of Babylon. Anyway, that's I think I've traumatized the fans enough.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for you to take me back to my room.
Aren't you already in your room?
I don't appreciate you divulging into my personal life.
Okay.
Good talk. All right, and speaking of which, when you listen to your podcast, you listen to it for life.
All right.
Fantastical.